Dear friends, Chandrasekhar here again, and we are now into the 28th, I think, of the series of lectures about my concept of Jaimini Sutras. I hope you have liked whatever you have heard so far, and now we are continuing from what we have left earlier, which was Oje, Bahuputra, etc. We have seen the Saptama and other things we have seen. Then the Putreshu, Guru, Ravi, Rahu, etc. You have seen when there are many children. And now we go to the next stage. Why I stopped at the last stage is after this, what begins is, though the first sutra does refer to the children, but what follows is about the Bhratu, the siblings of the Jataka. Generally, because as we go down the line, you will also see Bhagini, so this would generally means brothers, but not necessarily so. You know that in Sanskrit, all these terms are gender neutral, and what happens is, what is being said is Gruhi Kramat. Gruha means Bhava, Bha, Bhavana, Gruha is one and the same, which is Rashi or the Bhava. Kukshi. Kukshi is one, that is the Janma Lagna. According to me, there are different interpretations. Some are thinking that this is being talked about the second from the Upapada Lagna. But I would think that since he is saying something and then continuing with something else, so Gruha Kramat, Kukshi Tadisha, lot of that. Lot of what? The first Bhava, the Janma Lagna. Then Panchamavsha, Grahebhyashchaiva. Now this Panchamavsha, if interpreted in the Katapayadi manner, would come to 9, the 9th Bhava, from the Janma Lagna. Chaiva means cha eva, means also gives the similar results of what has been already told about the progeny. But what comes next is very important. So now the Panchamamsha, some people have also interpreted as the Pancham Amsha, and Pancham Amsha can also be a Rashi. All divisions can be called Amsha. Sanskrit is a, if I may call, dicey language, or for those the learned, it gives different flavors, and it could also mean the fifth Bhava. The great B. Surya Narayan Rao has even translated the Putreshu, which had come earlier, which is in the Katapayadi system of decoding comes to 9. He has said no, it is Putra Bhava, the fifth Bhava. Or he also now in this he says that it can also be the Karakausha of the fifth Bhava. So this is getting more complex, isn't it? But don't worry about it. I would generally look at directly from the Lagna. All that has been already said above, though it is also from second from the Upapada Lagna. You have to see that has been said. Then the Putra, from when the Putreshu starts, then it is of course 9th, perhaps from the Upapada Lagna itself. I would also take it still from the 5th Bhava or the 9th Bhava. As I told, in Chandrena Eka Putraha is one of the aphorism, and I have seen it comes true. It may be one Putra, the direct progeny, or even an adopted progeny, or even as in earlier his purchased progeny, which I would connect with these adoptions through those, centers where children are left and cared for by an organization. You normally donate them something and then adopt the child. So that I would look equate to the Krita Putra, the one which has been purchased, though legally it is adopted. So all this can be seen from the fifth Bhava. This has been my experience. You take your choice of whether to apply it in this manner, because we are talking about my concept of how to interpret this or how to use them. So I am sorry, I am having a bit of cold, so sometimes you may find some strange noises coming from me, and they have more to do with the cold than anything else. There is nothing wrong in the recording, I suppose, but it can happen sometimes, Actually, my wife told me not to record today, but I am also a peculiar person, and I want to get this fourth part of the first chapter over. That will perhaps be done by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and I hope with God's grace I will be okay by that time. So we are saying Gruha Kramat, Kukshi, Tadisha, Panchamansha, Graheva, Shaiva. This can also be seen what that all that about the Putra, the progeny, that is why I look the 5th house or the 9th house directly in the Lagna chart. Or from the Lagnesh is what is said. I don't think from the Lagnesh it will be very relevant. It might not yield results, so don't get upset about it. So what is important is the next one. This many a times helps us fix the Lagna. What is being said is Bhratru Bhyam. Bhratru is siblings. And Bhyam is of course it's talking about two things. So third Bhava and the 11th Bhava. Third is the younger sibling, 11th is the elder one. Shani Rahu Bhyam. Bhratru Nasha. Which can either mean that they aspect, of course by Rashi aspect we are talking about the Jaimini, or they are placed in those bhavas, then one's sibling will no longer be there, so they would die perhaps earlier than the Jataka. Here, we have to understand that if this combination occurs in the third bhava, it will be the younger sibling. If in the 11th bhava, it will be the elder one. So, that should be pretty clear. Next sutra is even more important. I use it many a times. It says, Shukrena Vyavahita Garbhanasha. If Venus is there, where in the 3rd or the 11th, then Vyavahita Garbhanasha, the mother would not perhaps be able to complete the term. So, what could it be? It could be perhaps, and what is being said is Garbhanasha, not the Bhratru-nasha, so which means it will be an abortion. Abortion of the younger or the elder sibling of the Jataka. This helps in many a times fixing the Lagna when we are in a quandary whether the Lagna is X or Y, and this can many a times fix. It is an awkward question to ask, I understand that, but sometimes if the problem is very severe and you are supposed to give your opinion, it is always better to check the Lagna first. I told about this in earlier lectures also. Because in Lagna, everything is with respect to Lagna. The Jataka's personality is the Lagna, and it is his mother which is indicated by the force, not his brother's mother. That is his relations with his mother or whatever is shown for the fourth bhava of the chart. So, then next sutra comes Pitru Bhave. Shukra Dushtepi. Api means also. Pitru Bhave is generally taken to be the first bhava by most of the commentators, and they are not very wrong. If Pitru decoded in the Katapayadi system comes to 1, which is the Lagna. So Shukra, if he aspects the Lagna, then there can be a Garbhanasha. Vyavahita Garbhanasha is abortion, you know that. But some learned have also translated or rather decoded Bhave from the, because Bhava Rashaya is what is told about the Katapayadi and even the B. Surya Narayan, the great B. Surya Narayan, the grandfather of B.V. Raman, has also done it in that fashion. He has interpreted it to mean the 8th Bhava. And Shukra Drushtepi. So, not only will it be necessary for Shukra to be placed there, it could also be aspecting that 8th Bhava or the Lagna, is what is being said, in which case what will happen, there would be abortion to mother. I have seen this happening many a times when Shukra, that is Venus, occupies the 8th Bhava. But as you know, you see many aphorisms which says, Shubhadrug Yoga, no. So, being present and aspecting is treated almost on the similar level by the great rishis, and you can take it. I would personally want the planet to be placed there for these results to come. And now we are seeing what happens is, now you are all, he is always talking about losing the brothers, you know. भ्रातुभ्याम शनि राहुभ्याम भ्रातुनाशः शुक्रेण भवेत् गर्भनाशः पितृभावे शुक्रदृष्टेपि. So all these are about destruction. What about having brothers or siblings? So the sage in the next sutra, I think it is 34 or something, in the fourth pada of the first chapter, he says, Kuja Guru Chandra Budhair Bahu Bhrataraha. If in those places Mars, Jupiter, Moon and Mercury are placed, then the Jataka will have many siblings. You can also take it to mean that if they aspect it, I would also even go one step further in all these, in the Putra and other things. Even the Graha aspect of planets would yield the results. Maybe that will yield better than anything else. So try it yourselves and fix up your system of how to interpret this. This should only be done in case of, you suspect whether the chart is correct or not. This is very interesting because normally 4 planets together are supposed to give sannyas, the giving up of things, and they should ideally place in certain places can give a tendency of not having anything at all. But that doesn't happen with this combination either. Kuja, Guru, Chandra and Buddha. That is Mars, Jupiter, Moon and Mercury. Then next comes again, that obsession of death is there, isn't it? That is why I would only partly cover the second chapter and finish off. I am not very interested in when somebody is going to die and how is he going to die, unless there is very complex situation there when you must answer, and in that or in such a situation, I always prefer going to the traditional astrology. I always said I am no great in Jaimini astrology. This is just a way I want to convey to you how I look at it and what particular sutras I sometimes do use. So what is said is Shanyarabhyam, Ara means Mars, Shani is Saturn, Drushte. Where Drushte? The first or the 8th perhaps, because this is sutra. At Pitru Bhrave Shukru Drushte. So perhaps that Guru Kramad, Kukshi, Tadisha, etc. is gone. The sutra is over, and now what is being talked about is the 8th and the 1st bhav. And in that case, he says, if aspect of, the great ones have interpreted this in a bit different manner. They say no, this would also be applied to the 9th bhava and the 5th bhava and other things. I tend to differ. The reason I'll tell you why. So Shani and Ara, if aspects, Yatha Swam Bhratru Nashaha. So he will be alive, but his sibling might die earlier, let us put it this way. Whether all siblings, no, that comes later. That is where the great Saturn has the strength of doing this, because he is the Karaka for sorrow, and we'll see the nexus. So here what happens is, then the sibling is destroyed. First bhava, if Saturn is there, obviously even the Gruha Drushti goes to the 3rd bhava, which is the bhava of the younger brother, so death can be there. You might not have one. If in the 8th Mars is placed, then he aspects the 3rd bhava and also the 12th bhava, 11th bhava of so the elder and the younger brother both are gone. And this could be one of the reasons of saying this. It has not been clarified whether which planet will do this. Apparently it appears that Shani and Mars, Saturn and Mars together will do that. That is not impossible. One of my contentions about looking at the planets in conjunction is that wherever one of the planet aspects, he also carries the negativity or positivity of the planets that he conjoins with. So though the planet might not be having direct aspect, but one of them aspecting a particular bhava can many a times cause harm or growth of that bhava. This is how I look at the conjunctions. I know this is, I doubt whether this has been said anywhere, but this is how I look at it. I always think that two planets together would influence each other, and so if one is doing something by aspect, then the other will also add something to it of his own. So that might be one of the reasons. I am not sure about it. Then, as I said, there is something else. Shanina. Shanina swamatra sheshancha or sheshascha. If only Saturn is in these places, the 8th or the 1st, then only the Jataka will survive, rest of the siblings will die. Why? I am not aware, but this is what the sage has said. I have not actually seen that happening. So I will be very honest with it, but that may be because of, I generally use the traditional astrology, so maybe sometimes I am not using this, and that is quite possible, but this is how, this is my experience. You share yours so that we all grow together in the knowledge of even application of Jaimini Sutras. So generally I would go for the traditional thing. But as I said, Shukrayana Vyavahita Garbhanasha I use regularly. I have seen that this does, work out. Or even Shukra, that is Venus in the 8th house, can indicate some, if not the abortion to the mother, but sometimes the early death of the siblings of the Jataka is indicated. Because this is, what is happening is, this is all happening to the mother of the Jataka. See, Garbhanasha rules, not the Jataka, his mother. That is where the Garbhanasha occurs. So please understand this. And you look from the 4th bhava, it is the 12th, and the 8th bhava from the 4th bhava, the 3rd and the 11th. That could be the reason, I am not very sure. But yes, 3rd bhava is about younger siblings and 11th is about the elder siblings. This is certain. No confusion about it. And then the last sutra comes is Keto Bhagini Bahulyam. This says, if Ketu in such places, then the Jataka might have many sisters. Now you remember there is something called Vipratam Ketu we saw in the Argalas. This Ketu has a tendency of doing something else, and I have seen many a times Ketu does indicate female of the species instead of the male. Wherever he is placed, if it is related to a person, then instead of male he would generally indicate the female. This is more so in case of the siblings. This I have observed many a times. I am just sharing it with you. You apply all these principles to the charts that you get. You are young, you have not only the time but the curiosity to learn more and more. That is the specialty of the youngsters. At our age we always assume that we know everything. Nobody knows everything. I still don't think I have even understood 10% of what is the Hora part of the astrology, later part the Sanhita and the Siddhanta. But then people unnecessarily think that I am being very, what I can say, very polite. Or this is humility. No, this is not humility. I know it is a fact. I have my mind suspecting my 2nd bhava, which can sometimes make me speak harsh, but generally logical. I am saying generally because it is the other person's, understanding of how I am talking. Sometimes he might find that I am very harsh. Rarely so, I admit there are other combinations in my chart, but this is how I am, and I don't like to hide anything. Because hiding your ignorance does not increase your knowledge. It is like a glass which is full of water, nothing can be added to it. I would want to be an empty glass so that water of knowledge falls into me. I don't know how much more time I have in this world, but then anyway, whatever comes, I am always after it. That is my way of looking at it. I will be stopping here because later on, what starts is from the 7th bhava. It is Labesha, this is the next sutra. Now, whether this Labesha applies to the 7th from the Upapada Lagna or the 7th from the 2nd from Upapada Lagna or the Lagna itself, as told in the Graha Kramat Prukshi, Tadisha, etc. I think it applies to the Grohkramat Kukshita Disha, though most of the learned have taken it to be applying to the second from Upapada Lagna or Upapada Lagna itself, or even seventh from the Upapada Lagna, because Saptamamsha, when a sutra talks about Saptamamsha, which has been taken by some as the seventh bhava. I would be clear, I think this part actually refers to the Janma Lagna Kundali itself. I might be absolutely wrong. Apply it in charts and find out. Also, if I am right, let me know. I mean, rather, I would not be right. My interpretation would be, might be right, and then you tell me if it is wrong. Even then, tell me, because that will make me understand astrology better. So, though you might be thinking that I am giving you knowledge, I am also learning from you. And I want to learn from anybody who has an intention of giving knowledge. I don't like disputes. I never comment on others. You must have seen I never comment on others. I don't like that. That is my nature. If there is a dispute, I will quietly leave. That is what has been taught by my father to me, and I follow it even now, that if your presence is causing some problem somewhere, better you leave the assembly instead of causing discord in an assembly. So my friends, I hope I am not boring you. I'll close it now. I hope in a day or two I will be well enough to do the next lecture, and I will try to finish off the rest of the fourth pada of the first chapter in the Jaimini Sutra, which are also known as the Upadesha Sutra. And therefore, my friends, I take your leave. Your enthusiasm in responding, your patience in hearing me out, because sometimes I do ramble. I know that I was doing it just 5 minutes back, telling about what my father used to say, which might not be connected with astrology. For me, it is always connected with astrology. So, I take your leave. And a very good night.